to speak and when to rest in silence. And above all, who knows that surrender is not the end of a journey, it is the beginning of miracles. Imagination is the bridge between your desire and its fulfillment. Entrust it to the divine. Within you lies a sacred power that most ignore, dismiss, or misunderstand. This power is not physical. It does not reside in your hands or in your voice. It resides in your inner world, your imagination. And yet, this invisible faculty shapes the very reality you walk through. It is not fantasy. It is not make-believe. It is creation in its purest form. Everything you see in the world, every structure, invention, work of art, every achievement, was once a seed planted in someone's imagination. That's how powerful it is. It is the first cause, the original source, the blueprint from which the material world is built. And when you understand that your imagination is a sacred bridge, not merely a playground of the mind, everything changes. Desire alone is not enough. Wanting something is not enough. It is only when you dare to see it, to feel it, to inhabit it in your imagination as though it were real, that you begin the true process of manifestation. The mistake most make is believing they must do everything with physical effort. They ignore the inner world and trust only what they can see with their eyes and touch with their hands. But the eyes and hands are instruments. They are not the source. The source is invisible. The origin is unseen. And imagination is how you reach it. When you imagine something clearly and feel it deeply, you impress it upon the divine mind within. You hand it over, not with doubt, not with questions, but with the quiet confidence of one who knows it is already done. You must understand, you were never meant to figure everything out with logic. The rational mind is limited. It operates only by past experiences and current senses. But imagination is limitless. It exists outside of time. It can take you to the end result before one single thing changes in your world. And when you dwell in the end, in the fulfilled state, you bring the future into the now. This is not illusion, it is creation. To see yourself as already healthy, already loved, already successful, already free, is to walk the bridge before the path appears under your feet. And you do not walk alone. Once you entrust this vision to the divine, meaning once you accept it as true within, you activate unseen forces. Doors open, people shift, events move, not because you pushed, but because you believe. Most people abandon the power of imagination too soon. They start to picture the life they want, but then quickly return to worrying, doubting, fearing. They allow the evidence of the senses to erase the truth they briefly held within. But to imagine is to plant a seed, and once it is planted, it must be watered, not with doubt, but with trust. You water it by revisiting it, by feeling it, by thanking the divine for it before. You must understand how sacred your inner world is. Imagine every image, every scene you accept as true becomes part of your spiritual signature. And what you persist in imagining, you eventually experience. This is not hope. It is law. The law of consciousness. The law of becoming. So the invitation is this. Close your eyes. Enter that silent space within. Picture the life you want, not as something distant, but as something already real. Walk in it, feel it, touch it, speak from it. And when you rise, do not worry about how it will come. That part is not yours. Your role is to imagine and deliver. Imagination is not a tool of escape. It is the gateway of transformation. It is the bridge between who you are and who you are becoming. Entrust it to the divine and watch your life unfold in ways that logic could never explain. Your true self is not separate from God. You're the vessel through which God operates. This is not just a comforting idea, it is the eternal truth of your being. You were not created to live apart from the divine, struggling on your own, praying to a distant power that may or may not hear you. You were created as an extension of that power. The life of God breathes through you, thinks through you, speaks through you. You are not merely human trying to reach God. You are God awareness, clothed in human form. This truth does not elevate the ego, it dissolves it. It silences the noise of striving and reminds you that all you seek is already within you. You are not empty, searching for fullness. You are already full, simply waking up to what has always been true. The moment you grasp this, everything in your life begins to change. Not because your outer world shifts first, but because your perception does. To believe you are separate from God is the root of all fear. It is the birthplace of anxiety, desperation, and lack. It is what causes people to plead, to beg, to chase after peace that seems just out of reach. But when you know that God is not somewhere far away but closer than your breath, you stop seeking. You start expressing. You stop begging for answers and start trusting that the answers move through you. You are not meant to live life hoping that something good might happen. You are meant to realize that the very source of goodness lives in you. Every time you imagine with faith, speak with conviction, or feel something as already real, it is not you acting alone. It is God acting as you. You are the channel, the vessel, the doorway through which the infinite enters the finite world. But to be that vessel, you must clear the noise. You must strip away the layers of doubt and limitation that the world has placed upon you. The world will try to tell you that you are small, broken, and lacking. But the truth is, you are divine substance. You are awareness itself. You are not separate from the Creator. You are its expression. Look at the seed in the tree. The seed is small, quiet, unnoticed, but within it is the potential of something vast and powerful. You too hold within you the seed of all that God is: love, abundance, healing, wisdom, peace. They are not things you need to go find. They are things you need to remember. And the way you remember is by turning inward. Stop waiting for signs. You are the sign. Stop waiting for permission. You are the authority. When you choose to think in alignment with love instead of fear, you become the mirror of God. When you choose to imagine the best, speak with grace, and walk with faith, you become the expression of God in form. This is not arrogance. It is humility at the highest level. To surrender the illusion of separateness and allow your life to be used by something greater. When you say, I and the Father are one, you are not claiming superiority. You are returning to truth. You are affirming that you no longer operate from the mind of the world, but from the mind of spirit. Every day becomes holy. Every thought becomes sacred. Every moment becomes a chance to let God move through you, not by force, but by allowing. Let yourself be the vessel. Let yourself be the expression. Let go of the old story that says you're alone and step into the story that's always been written. You and God are not two. There is only one. And that one is living its life in and through you. What you feel is real in the unseen. You place gently in the hands of the eternal. This is the sacred art of creation. Not by force, not by struggle, but by inner conviction and quiet surrender. The world will tell you that what is unseen is uncertain, that what you cannot prove with your senses is not real, but the truth is exactly the opposite. What you feel deeply in the stillness of your being, in the silence of your imagination, is more powerful than anything you can grasp with your hand. You do not manifest by hoping. You do not create by begging. You do so by feeling, deeply and truly, as if the unseen were already here. The moment you dare to feel something is real before your eyes can confirm it, you have touched the realm of the eternal. This is not fantasy. It is faith. Faith is not merely believing something might happen one day. Faith is the knowing that what you have felt, what you have accepted as true within, is already yours. And once you feel it, once you experience the fullness of that unseen reality within, you don't chase it. You don't question it. You don't fight for it. You release it. You place it gently, confidently, into the hands of the eternal presence within you, and you rest. You allow it to unfold in its perfect time and way. You no longer carry the weight of how or when, because those are not your responsibilities. Your only task is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and to walk in that inner assurance until the outer world aligns with what you already know to be true. There is something sacred about feeling without seeing. It is the highest form of trust. It says to the infinite, I believe you, I know you, I feel you, and that is enough. When you move through life in this way, your heart is no longer troubled by appearances. The world may offer delay, but you no longer call it denial. You know that once a thing is accepted within, it begins to take shape without. Everything in the material world is downstream. What you see, hear, and touch is the echo, not the origin. The origin is always within. And when you claim something as yours in the unseen, when you dwell in the state of already having, you shift your identity. You begin to live from that higher state of consciousness. And the eternal responds, not because it was ever withholding from you, but because you finally became aligned with what you were asking for. Imagine a child giving their parent a drawing, something precious to them. They hand it over, not with fear, but with complete trust that the parent will receive it, keep it safe, honor its value. In the same way, when you place your desire into the hands of the eternal, you are not abandoning it, you are entrusting it. You are saying, I have done my part, now I let the higher intelligence do what only it can do. And this trust, this surrender, is not weakness, it is the highest strength. It is knowing who you are and what you are connected to. It is no longer needing outer proof to feel inner peace. It is allowing the rhythm of divine timing to take over. So do not rush. Do not panic. Do not keep digging up your seed to see if it has sprouted. Feel it has done. Be still. Let the unseen do its perfect work. What you have planted in faith, you will harvest in joy. What you have felt as real, you have handed to the eternal. And the eternal never forgets, never delays, and never fails. Anxiety is a signal that you are trying to do with force what must be done in faith. It is the unease that arises when the mind assumes control over what the spirit was always meant to carry. When you feel anxious, it is not simply a reaction to circumstances. It is a deep inner alarm, reminding you that you have stepped out of alignment. You have begun to lean on effort, on logic, on human limitation, instead of resting in the infinite ease of divine order. Force is rooted in fear. It believes that if you don't act fast enough, hard enough, something will fall apart. It clings, it grabs, it demands. Faith, on the other hand, is rooted in knowing. It moves from a calm inner assurance that what is for you cannot miss you. It does not rush, it does not panic. It trusts the unseen more than it fears the visible. Anxiety cannot exist in the presence of that kind of faith.